Well, well, well. Sony, Sony, Sony. Yeah, not really a lot going for you, was there, lads? Mind you, though, like I said in the last video, it was expected, and that's not an excuse to say that they should have done better, because they should have done, but hey ho, it is what it is. However, having said that, there were a couple of things that were very interesting, and after now looking at my new site, something of those two that I just mentioned, a couple of things, have actually come to fruition. So, right, I think I'll start with the main one. Sony announced, along with the person who created the game, Yu Suzuki, that Shenmue 3, I should say, is coming out. Yep, the long awaited sequel to Shenmue 1 and 2 on the Sega Dreamcast over 13 years ago is finally getting a sequel. It's finally getting the third game. And they have done it via Kickstarter, which was a bit weird. I don't know why they've done it via Kickstarter, but there you go. Where Yu Suzuki used the Sony E3 conference to announce that he's announcing Shenmue 3 and he needed $2 million raised via Kickstarter to get development going for it. Within hours, that has been reached. So as of now, it has reached the $2 million target. So it looks like Shenmue 3 is going to happen. That's absolutely fantastic. So I've never played Shenmue 1 or 2. I have recently just purchased a Dreamcast, a modified one. I need to go and get those games as soon as I can and start playing them. I have heard many things about them, and I cannot wait to play them so I can be ready for Shenmue 3. All I do know is it's a very, very eccentric game, a very one of a kind game, and you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's a very polarizing game. So hopefully I like it, and hopefully I will enjoy it, and therefore be more excited about Shenmue 3. The only thing I'm a bit confuzzled of is why did Sony need to bring out a Kickstarter to fund this game? Why couldn't they front the money themselves? Or have they fronted some of the money for it? They just wanted to raise the rest of it via Kickstarter. It's not exactly clear who's funding what. So have the fans of the Shenmue franchise funded this entirely, or have Sony funded it or part funded it and they just decided to release some of the funds to the fans? Because Yu Suzuki's argument for this, the creator of Shenmue, or the director or producer of the game, he stated that he wanted some fan input. So the Kickstarter was used as a means to get the fans to have a say in the development of the game. That's fair enough. But yeah, I'm not sure if the $2 million is the entire funding for it or whether it's just a part fund. I'm going to assume it's a part fund, and Sony have also fronted some of the money for it. It is a bit of a strange horse to back because it's quite a cult game. It didn't sell massively well when it came out. It sold well for the Dreamcast. It sold well over 1 million copies, at least the first one did. Not sure about the second one. I don't think the second one sold as many because it came out very late in the Dreamcast's lifespan. But it did sell a few copies, but not nearly enough to warrant a third game, even if the Dreamcast was doing well or better than it was. So yeah, but anyway, that's happening. So cool, excellent. Looking forward to that. The other thing that Sony announced that was probably the most interesting of the night was the game The Last Guardian. That's been in development hell for years. I can remember when I first heard about it back when I was in college, and I was reading up about it and how it was going to be on the PlayStation 3 and how it was going to be amazing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't know what Last Guardian is, it is the pseudo or spiritual sequel to Shadow of the Colossus, which is also a pseudo stroke spiritual sequel to Ico. I can't remember the name of the team who make the games. I know it's a Sony-based team, or at least a Sony first-party team, but I can't remember who made the games. But all I do know is that this one, The Last Guardian, the third one in their trilogy, so to speak, has been in development hell for many, many, many years. Probably due to the difficulties in programming the PlayStation 3, probably also due to the creators of the game. The main director of the game was quite a perfectionist. Maybe he just couldn't get it right to his liking. I found out he left the project but stayed on as a creative consultant. which was bad for the game. And then the development team, I think, pretty much splintered as well after that. So it was believed to have become vaporware or just never going to happen. But no, apparently it's soon going to be released. Of course, Sony have said that before in the past, so this could mean nothing. Perhaps they've just thrown this in to keep us going. And if it does come out, I'm looking forward to it. I've played Shadow of the Colossus. I really like Shadow of the Colossus. That's an amazing game. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. I played a bit of Ico. I haven't finished it, but it looked amazing as well. So I need to finish that off. But yeah, if it actually does come out, and it might do because the PS4 is a lot easier to program for, then awesome. Excellent. Can't wait for it. It's going to be good. So well done, Sony, on that. Although, again, I'll be a bit dubious about that because, of course, they've said this before, didn't come out. Who knows? Other than that, that really was it from Sony. There was a few other games mentioned, but really nothing else. There's a game called Trico, some sort of puzzle game. Oh yes, of course. How could I forget? Sony announced that that Square Enix are producing the remake to Final Fantasy VII. Yes, at long last, there's going to be a remake to Final Fantasy VII. They've been teasing us with this for years, especially when the PlayStation 3 was first talked about, and they showed off that teaser footage for it, although it never came to fruition. They've been teasing at it for years. Square have, for some reason, been holding back, but now apparently it's going to happen. Again, all I know is it's going to be coming first to PlayStation 4, so it's going to be a timed exclusive. Not brilliant, but in a way, the original one came out on PlayStation, it makes sense, but I can understand Square going multi-platform with it. It makes sense, really, thinking about it. And yeah, if that actually comes out, that might be an interesting game to do a Let's Play of. I have played the original Final Fantasy VII, and I liked it for the most part. I just didn't like the end. Well, the very end. As in, I liked the game all the way up to the last cutscene, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then the bizarre cutscene afterwards, and you're like, did they win? Did they lose? I don't know. If you haven't played it, play it. I recommend it. It is good fun. But yeah, that end, man, that end. It all got resolved pretty much with the movie Final Fantasy VII Advent Children and probably even Crisis Core. I've never played Crisis Core. Don't know what it's about. But there you go. But yes, the movie came out, kind of resolved the ending really to it. So yeah, if you didn't get the ending to Final Fantasy VII, go and watch the movie. You most likely have done if you've played Final Fantasy VII. I didn't really like the movie that much. I think graphically, in terms of CG, it was impressive, but yeah, it was a terrible film. It shouldn't have come out. But we were excited to see that it made the ending a bit more clearer. So it was good. It was good for that, but as a film, yeah, it's a bit rubbish. But yeah, so that's that coming out. As predicted, they didn't really say anything about Morpheus, the VR headset. All they said was you're going to be able to do multiplayer on it, and that's it. So I'm not going to come down on them too hardly on it because at the moment we still don't really know what's going on with Oculus Rift or Microsoft's Valve headset or Microsoft's thing with Oculus. I know Microsoft are providing an Xbox 360 controller for the Oculus, but that's it. And I know Microsoft have partnered with Valve on a headset, but I thought Valve were partnering with HTC with a headset. Samsung have got a weird Suedo headset where you can put your phone in it and it does stuff. Yeah, I do think that virtual reality is going to be a gimmick, so I'm not really that fussed, to be honest with you. It'll be cool when it comes out. I'm not saying I won't try it, of course not, and I'm hoping I'll like it, and hopefully maybe it won't be a gimmick, but again, I'm going to be blunt with it. Horror and porn, that's where it's at. If you can't provide that, no one's interested. Yes, there's other games outside of horror and porn that'll work well with it, but it's going to be that starts selling it. And then once it starts selling because of it, then you'll see a diverse range of software and movies and stuff, which won't be horror and porn, which will also be good as well. But you need that cornerstone really to get it going. If that doesn't work, then I don't think it's going to take off. But anyway, we've had this before in the 80s. Maybe it'll be different this time. Who knows? Or late 80s, early 90s, I should say. Who knows? Let's see. And I think, again, from Sony, that's about it. Oh, apparently it says Sony's game lineup was impressive, but a little light on genuine exclusives. Yes, they hadn't really made any announcements for further exclusives. There was an article that said that Sony had no exclusives coming out this year. I agree with them. I don't think there is. I don't know when Last Guardian's coming out. Probably next year, I'd have thought. They showed some more footage of Uncharted 4. Looks good. Looking forward to that. I liked Uncharted 1 and 2. Didn't like Uncharted 3. Absolutely hated Uncharted 3. That was an awful game. Pretty, but awful. But 1 and 2 were good. So 4, hopefully, will be good. Um, and that's it. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering because I haven't really read the news article that well. I've just come back from my big thing I've had to do at work, and it's done now, and it went well, by the way. So those of you who are interested, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So actually, it was good fun. So hooray, that went well. Yeah, there's a few other games as well, but nothing really that I'm going to make a note of because I'm not interested in it. Again, these aren't thorough, detailed analysis of E3. It's just what's going on at the moment. But there you go. So Sony, about what I expected, but okay. Shenmue 3, unexpected. Last Guardian mentioned, unexpected. Although I've completely forgotten about it. Whether again that's going to come out or not, still don't know. Shenmue 3 is going to come out. It looks like because it reached their fan funding target. So it could have been a means of finding out how many people were interested in purchasing the game. It could have been a marketing tactic, really. That might have been what it was all about. As well as the creator, Suzuki, saying that he wanted the fans to have an input. He's probably telling the truth on that, but I think it's a marketing ploy. It's just to test the waters to see if it's actually going to make any money or not. Whether it's going to be a Sony exclusive or not, don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But it doesn't matter. Shenmue 3, that was good. Last Guardian, hope it does come out because it does look beautiful. What I've seen of it so far, it really does look beautiful. Oh, right, Trico. Sorry, I thought Trico was in a different puzzle game. My mistake. No, Trico is in The Last Guardian. That is the hybrid cat-bird creature. Oh, okay, my bad. Didn't read it properly. No, Trico is in The Last Guardian. He's the beast thing that you look after. Good, excellent, lovely. Yep, that's it. So I'm going to stop stalling now, and I'm going to get on with the video that we've all been waiting for, Tuesday evening. So I'm going to read your comments, guys, see what the feedback is. I'll reply to what I've got, and then we'll do it, and we'll see what the plan is. So back in a bit.